Good morning. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, the Golden Moon Casino text line, 601-885-3776, 885-3776. We're streaming live on the Out of Bounds radio app. You can watch the show right now on YouTube. Watch the show on YouTube. Search Out of Bounds Sports. We welcome in Mike Detillier, WWL Radio TV New Orleans. Mike D joins us on the Out of Bounds Show, presented by Sound and Communications. If you need a video wall for your business or school, soundcomab.com. Video walls are cool. Lobbies, conference rooms, schools, universities, powered by Sound and Communications. Soundcomab.com. Mike D, so we've got, as you know, we got the guys going in the Hall of Fame here this summer. And, Eric Allen and Jared Allen and Antonio Gates, Sterling Sharp. And we talked to you a little bit about that a couple months ago. But the guys that are eligible next year, the leaders in the clubhouse, Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Phillip Rivers, Jason Witten, Frank Gore, among others. So just those guys that I named, who is a slam dunk, in your opinion, for next year, Mike D?
Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald.
Okay.
Phillip Rivers eventually gets in, but I'm not sure he gets in year one. But Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald.
All right. Do you think Eli gets in?
I think Eli eventually gets in, yes. Okay. I think eventually he'll get into the Hall. But I think similar to Rivers is that they'll have people, a little bit hesitant. But I think eventually Eli Manning gets in.
All right, so Mike D has slam dunks for 2026. Drew Brees, one of the greatest ever. I still think he's underrated. I say it all the time when Mike D's on the show. And Larry Fitzgerald, who was unbelievable and just stayed out at Arizona. They came so close to beating Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh drove down the field. But Fitzgerald, have you ever been around Larry Fitzgerald, Mike D, or had a conversation with him?
I have not. He's one guy I have not been able to interview or anything like that. So I really can't tell you. I've heard so many great things about him from people that have either played on the same team with him, coached with Arizona, or have interviewed him and come away always impressed.
Yeah.
Always impressed with him.
Wow. He's an impressive person, no doubt. Mike Detillier on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. Mike D, as somebody who's been in the game for 40 years, what do you do with someone like Julian Edelman, who was a postseason hero, but a modest regular season stat sheet? Does he ever have a chance, or do you just look at that and say, Bo, that's a no-go? Great career, but not going to make it.
He goes into the Hall of Very Good. But, I don't think he's going to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. To be honest with you. But, he was a very good player. That's no question about it. You look at the stats he put up, his impact in this game. He was a very good player. But getting into the Hall, that's a special deal. People don't realize Willie Roaf, it took him, he didn't get in year one. He was a second-year guy. That was shocking to me, that Willie would not have gotten in year one. But, it's special to get into Pro Football's Hall of Fame.
Yeah. All right, so Brees, Mike Detillier, Brees in, Larry Fitzgerald in, and we'll kind of see on Phillip Rivers. Jason Witten was an 11-time Pro Bowler, second among tight ends and receptions. But you feel like Witten will get in, but not first ballot, right?
I think he'll get him not first ballot. Correct. His numbers, his career speaks for itself. He eventually gets in, but he may be similar to Willie Roaf in that he won't get in year one, but he'll get in there in the second year.
Okay. All right. When you talk about Phillip Rivers, Mike D, I thought he was incredible, but he was with a franchise that, quite frankly, was not run well. And I like to do this with guys that he was, throughout his career, he was top 6, top 8, top 10, just depending on the year, for many years. And, you always wonder, if you'd have put Rivers where Roethlisberger was, a well-run organization where they surrounded you with a good defense and good, Dick LeBeau and good coaches, or you drop him with the Ravens, who are run well, and some other franchises. I mean, I want to tee you up on this, Mike D. If Phillip Rivers plays for an organization that has their stuff together, like Ernie Accorsi and Tom Coughlin, or the Steelers, or the Ravens, or some other franchises, he was already good with the Chargers. How good could he have been if he was with a well-run franchise?
That's always a question that you sort of think about, but your career is your career of what could have happened if he was with someone else. One of the toughest guys that ever played that quarterback position. He had a real funky delivery, but he was accurate. He knew where to go with the football. And so, it was just in that particular time frame sort of dominated by one quarterback. And that was really Tom Brady.
Yeah.
At that point in time. The Chargers had some good teams. I would not say he was on a bad run organization. I could not say that, because those Charger teams were really good. They had some talent, and it was just winning at that crucial moment. That's the one thing Eli has got, in that fact that he was able to win 2 Super Bowls over Brady, and how he got there. And people don't realize part of that was he got through Green Bay with Brett Favre. And so I just, that there's a lot of what could have been. You think about a lot of players had they been somewhere else, but I would never say Phillip Rivers was in a bad run organization with the Chargers. I think at one time it was, but that team had some talent on it across the board, and LaDainian Tomlinson too. They had LT on those teams, so it just wasn't sort of winning at the right moment.
Yeah. All right, so Mike Detillier on the Out of Bounds show. Now, they did fire Schottenheimer after like a 14-2 season, and I'm not sure that they replaced him with I'm talking about Marty for our listeners, not Brian, which I think most everybody's working with me on that. Marty Schottenheimer, who was actually one of the more successful head coaches that doesn't have a Super Bowl with the Chiefs and the Chargers. I mean, that dude knew how to win. I thought the Chargers made a mistake there.
He was a great regular season coach. What happened with Marty was the inability to win in postseason. And those Cleveland teams came so close.
Cleveland, that's right.
And you think back, Elway caught him twice. And then the fumble near the goal line. And so, there was some opportunities there, but man, as far as a regular season coach, Marty Schottenheimer was really good. It didn't matter if he was in Kansas City, if he was in Cleveland or in San Diego, he won. It was the postseason that kind of caught him, that he wasn't able to win at that big moment to get himself to play in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. All right, so let's go over this. You've got Drew Brees, who is in. All right, he's eligible for 2026. All right, he's in. Fitzgerald's in. Larry Fitzgerald from Arizona. He came up short on the Super Bowl, but had an amazing career. And then Mike's thinking, some of these other guys, we'll see with the last class what happens with like Eli Manning and Luke Kuechly and some others. And then you got this class.
Luke Kuechly should be in. Now, he's the what-if guy. What if he did not have all those concussions?
Right.
But if you talk to Drew Brees, he'd be the first one to tell you never played against a guy like Kuechly, because Luke knew the game so well. And I first got told this by Zach Strief, and then Drew sort of repeated it. They'd come up to the line of scrimmage. He'd see how they lined up. He would call a play.
Wow.
He'd actually call a play, and so they were trying to get out of that play because Kuechly was actually setting up the defense to stop it. And Zach told me at that time, I never saw anybody do that. I'd never seen anybody. Every once in a while, somebody would recognize something and call a play out, but he said it was almost play to play. Kuechly was that good of a sort of figure out guy, that smart, that line up, and all of a sudden he's calling the play to the defense that they had called in the huddle.
Unreal.
Zach was like, whoa, that's something. So then it became the chess match between Brees and him. Brees trying to check out of that to run something else.
Mike Detillier on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. The class going in here in a week or so, or a couple weeks, is Eric Allen, defensive. Did you have a problem? Let me ask you this, Mike D. Were you surprised at any of these guys going in? I'm just going to run through the list.
I was surprised with Eric.
Okay.
Now, Eric had a great career in Philly. He was not the same guy with the Saints. Now, they didn't have that pass rush either that the Eagles had. But you think about it, when he was there, they had Reggie White and Clyde Simmons and Seth Joyner, Jerome Brown, before, he got killed. Man, that defense was really, really good. And so I was surprised a little bit with Eric. Eric was a good player with the Saints. I didn't think he was a Hall of Fame guy. Now, his days in Philly, and he was awfully good there. But, man, that front seven was about as good as you could get. Golick was part of that. He was sort of the guy that played the run. But, man, when you got Reggie and Jerome Brown and Clyde Simmons and Golick up front,
wow,
they would. And then, Seth Joyner was played outside linebacker for them. They were really good on the defensive side of football. I was surprised though with Eric that he got in. I'm gonna be honest with you because we were talking about this before the selection with a couple different people as we were doing the Super Bowl, and they all expressed the exact same thing, that they were a little bit surprised Eric got in.
All right, so it's Eric Allen, defensive back, who the best part of his career was with the Eagles. Jared Allen, Vikings. Antonio Gates, Chargers. Sterling Sharp. We all remember Sterling and Green Bay and Favre, and then his career was cut short. So that's the only one that surprised you, Mike D?
That was the only one. I thought Sharp should have been in years ago, to be honest with you. But, again, shortened career because of the injury. But, man, when he played, he was extra special. And he was one of the first kind of big group of receivers to hit the NFL. And how you played him because of the fact that he was a physical wideout, ran good routes, was unafraid when he went over the middle. And at that time, you were able to hit receivers over the middle, and you were able to hit them high. Today, you can't touch them. I mean, you go over the middle, you better hit them in the chest, and that's the only spot. You can't hit them high, can't hit them low, or it's a penalty. But back then, man, they could go for you. and I think about, what Eric Martin did with the Saints and Michael Irvin did with the Cowboys. And, Sterling also was like that with Green Bay. Man, going over the middle, you took, your body took some shots.
Yeah.
They were going high on you at that time.
Ronnie
they
Lott.
were going for the head or shoulder, neck area. That's where they were going.
Yeah, Ronnie Lott, Steve Atwater.
Kenny Easley
Woo!
with Seattle.
Woo.
Man, Kenny, because I've had a couple people tell me the hardest they ever hit was Kenny Easley when he was with Seattle. And I remember Kenny, he was at UCLA. Ronnie was coming out of USC, and to think, man, those guys, Ronnie played all over the board. He played corner, free safety. He played, they didn't even call it the nickel back then, but he played all over the board. But, man, Ronnie Lott was one tough dude. And I think one of the more underrated players of the 80s, 90s was Ronnie Lott. Yeah. Because of the fact that at that time, LT, Reggie White, they were getting so much ink. And then all of a sudden, as the 90s hit, Dion.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. That's a great point on what happened.
But I think Ronnie Lott, and he's a Pro Football Hall of Famer.
He was one of my favorite players.
He was one of the more underrated players in the NFL, despite his accomplishments, and he played on a team that was offensive dominated. With Montana, with Rice, with Roger Craig. Those 49er teams, man, they were really good on defense. People don't give him credit what Walsh did there to piece that together on both sides, but he had to combat at that time what the Giants had, and they weren't great on offense, but they were good, but they were great on defense. And you think about the Bears and, what they had on the defensive side, the football. The problem with the Bears was to keep Jim McMahon healthy, because when Jim was healthy, they were a totally different team. And, because they had Peyton and Willie Gault. They had some people, really good offensive linemen. But, Jim missed so much time with a host of different injuries. And Walsh had to combat that. And then all of a sudden, what Jimmy Johnson did in piecing that Cowboys team together. So you have to play chess all over the board. And the thing with Walsh is, and he doesn't get credit for it, everybody says it's Mike Ditka with William Perry using him in the backfield. But that idea actually was a Bill Walsh idea. Ditka stole it because the 49ers used Guy McIntyre in the backfield. And so he kind of stole that point and let Perry play in the backfield. But Guy McIntyre was the first guy to do it.
Wow.
For the 49ers.
Mike Detillier on the Out of Bounds Show. We're talking Pro Football Hall of Fame. Also, first-time eligible. If you're just joining us, we mentioned with Mike D that Drew Brees and Larry Fitzgerald are eligible next year. And Mike says they're slam dunk. The others we'll see. Phillip Rivers, Jason Witten, Eli Manning, Luke Kuechly. Some of those
I think Kuechly gets in next year. I'm going to be honest with you.
Okay.
That's the biggest surprise for me. And I don't get how he did not get in year one. Okay. If you look at what he did in his playing time, and, Gale Sayers got in, his career was short. Terrell Davis, his career was short with the Broncos. Man, what Luke Kuechly did on the defensive side of the football, now, he was not on a Super Bowl winning team. And that sometimes has some weight with some of the voters there. I don't know what, they look at and what they don't look at. I'm not involved with that process. But another guy I think should be in there too, and he's another former Saint, and that's Jari Evans. I think when you look back in the 2000s, when he came in and from 06, and he had a long run. Man, Jari Evans, he was as good a guard as there was in the National Football League, and he played at the elite level. And eventually he'll get in. If he gets in next year, I don't know. But I think Luke Kuechly is in that group with Drew Brees and with Larry Fitzgerald.
All right, so we're visiting with Mike Detillier, NFL insider on ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Also, first-time eligible coaches will be Bill Belichick because he retired, and possibly Pete Carroll under the same new rule. So
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. Even though Pete is back with the Raiders now, which I think is a hell of a hire, and Belichick is with the North Carolina Tar Heels, and I think that's going to be a disaster. But they're both Hall of Famers, so according to this, they'll be eligible after not coaching. So it could be like a star-studded class of Breeze, Fitzgerald. I wonder if they'll wait on Belichick and Carroll, or if they'll go ahead and pull the trigger. I don't.
Belichick and Carroll will both get in there.
Okay.
Belichick, I will say this, because I know a couple people who do vote, and they have both brought up the concerns about him getting caught cheating. Okay, he got caught. A lot of coaches do sort of the same thing what Belichick was doing, but they didn't get caught.
Right.
Or maybe not to that extreme. Bill was always looking for an edge. And so I think that could play into a vote that people, yeah, you won and you won big, but you won big because of Brady. That would be the first thing. The second thing is, man, you kind of skirt around the rules a little bit, and that really upset a number of coaches in this league who I knew were trying to do similar type things to scout their opponent.
I love it. Mike D, have a great week, my man. Love the stories, and training camps here. We'll see what all shakes out, and we'll jump back in next week. Thank you, my man.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
That was great. All right, so he's got Drew Brees and Larry Fitzgerald and Belichick slam dunks going into next year's class. All right, he feels like Luke Kuechly from the Carolina Panthers is going in. He's not sure on Eli Manning and Phillip Rivers and Jason Witten Jackson. So here's who he's got slam dunks. 2026 Pro Football Hall of Fame. Drew Brees. He's one of the GOATs.
Yeah, he's in.
He's still one of the most underrated players.
All day.
I'm glad that I got to see him play live like you did with the Saints. Wilkes got to see him play.
Many good times had because of him.
We got to see him play in 2019. Brees and Roethlisberger had a shootout in the Dome. Game was 38-35 on we woke up in New Orleans on Christmas Eve, so it was December 23rd. So that was a ton of fun. But I think Brees is underrated.
Yep.
Larry Fitzgerald's underrated because he was in a market in Arizona where people don't care and they never won a Super Bowl. But he was great. He says Bill Belichick's in.
Yeah.
And we'll see on Luke Kuechly, Eli Manning, and Phillip Rivers. We are the Out of Bounds Show on ESPN 105.9 The Zone.
Say, kids, what time is it?
It's 9 a.m., and this ain't no K show. It's the Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds.
All aboard!
As Mississippi's #1 morning show rolls on the Zone 105.9 and online at thezone1059.com.
All right, good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, brought to you by Pearl River Resort, award-winning Dancing Rabbit Golf Club inside the Golden Moon Casino. You have the Timeout Lounge Sportsbook, full bar and menu as they get ready for football season. Philip M's Amazing Steakhouse, table games, pearlriverresort.com to book your 24 to 48 hours of fun, pearlriverresort.com. I'm your host, Bo Bounds. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. Want to say good morning, welcome in. Thanks for making us your sports and entertainment show of choice. The Dancing Rabbit Golf text line is 601-885-3776. Twitter X at Bo Bounds, and the Michelob Ultra caller line is 601-707-3750. 601-707-3750. We do have the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame class going in next weekend. Dexter McCluster being one of the guys, among many other worthy inductees. Dexter was fantastic player for the Ole Miss Rebels during the Houston Nutt era, where Houston lined him up in the Wildcat and everybody went crazy.
Yep. I loved him. And he had a little spurt in the pros too, where he was hot.
He did. He had
Chief, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Chiefs. And then I don't remember where he went. But yeah, he was drafted by the Chiefs, I think in the second round of the NFL draft.
He had like a 3-year boom where he was, because he could catch out of the backfield.
In special teams.
Yeah. So he's a PPR fantasy.
Yeah, he was a nice fantasy player, wasn't he?
He's nice.
Yeah.
He was a great flex.
I remember one of our Ole Miss guys drafted him first.
That was not smart.
I know. But,
I love it, but it's not smart.
People from their teams love doing that. And Dexter was off the board in the first round. I thought it was great. This was, whenever, 15 years ago.
I understand that if you're a Saints fan, taking Breeze number one.
Well, yeah. Probably still not a good pick, but he's Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Who was your number one pick last year?
Ooh.
In the fantasy football draft?
Last year, it had to be a receiver. It probably was Chase.
Jamar Chase.
High pick. It was Chase.
With the Bengals.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Followed by, I always take two quarterbacks. I always take the two top quarterbacks.
Did you do that next, or did you go ahead and get a running back or another wide receiver running back?
Receiver, quarterback, running back, quarterback. So I ended up with the top, one of the top, either 2 or 3 quarterbacks. So you trade bait.
Who'd you draft?
I had Allen and Lamar.
Okay.
So Josh Allen and Lamar.
Both guys who will score with their legs every now and then.
And their arms all the time.
Right.
Then you just dangle. Trade bait.
Okay.
Somebody's going to come. Somebody give you a number 1 wide receiver or number 1 running back after
for one of the quarterbacks.
Yeah, give it 2 weeks.
Did you do that?
Oh yeah, that's what I do every year.
Which one?
Ended up letting Josh Allen go.
Okay.
It didn't cost me. It was fine, but it could have cost me. It came down close.
Did you win it?
Yeah, I did. It wasn't. No, I got to I made it past. I made it to the finals. The guy I beat in the semis had Josh Allen.
Oh, he took Josh Allen, but you beat him with Lamar.
Thankfully, it got close. But
okay,
I lost the finals.
Who was your running back?
Whew. Oh Lord. Oh my gosh, Brian Armstrong. And then there's one more. Maybe the boy from the Falcons. I can't ever remember his name.
The dude from Texas, Brian Robinson?
Robinson. Or Bijan.
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 Sorry.
That dude was toting it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Was he toting it like that?
Falcons have a pretty good roster.
Oh, they're not bad.
We'll see what Michael Penix does this year
like
in your
Penix.
NFC South.
I like Penix.
And if he takes the Saints' manhood.
If he does, okay. I mean, obviously, I don't think there's much manhood to take right
Tyler Shuck,
now. Yeah, I mean,
New Orleans Saints.
What's that prove to us?
Or Spencer Rattler.
That's not happening.
Maybe you should just put Alvin Kamara at quarterback.
Right. I mean, get your money's worth. He's going to retire a Saint. He'll be done in a
Is
couple years.
Taysom Hill done?
I hope not.
I mean, he had a hell of a career. I mean,
Wow.
considering who he was, Sean was able to do some cool things with him. Dennis Allen kept it going.
I mean, he had, in every respect to him, a Hall of Fame career for him. There's no way he should have ever expected. He would have never expected that, right?
No.
Not in the wildest dreams.
No.
I mean,
And Sean was determined
to
play him.
Yeah, he had.
I think at times
to
overboard.
Yep.
But he was a fan. People love a little gimmick. Gimmick's not fair because he's a
Flair.
good. But yeah,
I mean, they had some.
they love the wrinkles.
The wrinkle, there it is.
You know,
That's what it is.
kind of like when Dexter McCluster lined up at the Wildcat,
Just like
or when Houston Nutt lined up, McFadden
No difference.
in the Wildcat.
Yeah. was a
But
bad
then
man.
when he went to Ole Miss and lined up Dexter,
How much money would McFadden be worth today in NIL?
oh my goodness. Darren McFadden was a man among boys.
I mean, he was built just ridiculously different.
How I can't even imagine how much. I mean, 7 figures,
Yeah.
but I can't imagine how much Darren McFadden would get.
I mean, obviously, I know Johnny would pull more. I think Johnny's the one who would pull the most out of
I
any
think
pass.
Johnny would probably break the bank
Yeah.
because
he can get
A&M
10.
wants to win, and because he was so electric that probably 4 or 5 games in, once he got going,
Oh, my gosh.
then they would have done a massive deal with him. Or if not, then right after he beat Bama, he went to Tuscaloosa and beat Bama in year 1 and had that insane game and that crazy play.
I mean, are we talking 8 figures?
And we know his wide receiver is still really good with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I mean, would he have been a $10 million kid?
I don't think it would have been that much, but it would have been Johnny Manziel would have made an insane amount of money in NIL because he and his buddies were ahead of the curve on merch
Oh, yeah.
and other things that they were doing, which they should not have had to do under the table.
Absolutely not.
Ridiculous that the NCAA was hunting him the way they were.
Golly.
He talked about how much money they bagged. I hope I know he made some bad mistakes, but I love that he was selling T-shirts and all kinds of stuff. He was a star before,
Gosh.
even bigger than Arch. I mean, and I know maybe 6-7 games in, Arch will be big, but Arch isn't going to have the flair.
No way.
Okay.
Too boring.
I don't know. I mean,
it is
he does
boring.
have some mobility and he may have a little bit of,
Yeah, he's not flashing money signs, though.
well, no. They would, the Mannings are way too buttoned up,
Classy.
start shirts and all that stuff. Even Lagway, being a play, that's just not how Florida's going to operate. DJ Lagway has a chance to be unbelievable this year for Florida. I don't think people understand how talented and how good everybody wants to talk about Arch and then Nussmeier and then how Austin Simmons is going to come on the scene in the first few games, and that could happen. DJ Lagway is the truth. Anyway, back to Manziel. Hey, what about our clock?
Hypothetical.
So Manziel goes, I cannot imagine how much money he would make.
There's a hypothetical on it. Projected at 35. That's got to be 4 years, obviously. That's a high number.
I think that's too high. Lunch today brought to you by Martin's in Livingston and that phenomenal blue plate. Start off with a cup of gumbo, pair it with an ice cold Michelob Ultra. Hey, good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds Show. We're talking fantasy football, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. We'd like to hear from you on the Dancing Rabbit Golf text line. Do you play fantasy football or bet on the games or both? All right, the Dancing Rabbit Golf text line is 601-885-3776. Bo Bounds, Jackson Meadows, and Wilkes Bounds joins us. Now, Jackson, who was your best player on your fantasy football team last year?
It's Lamar.
Okay.
Lamar.
And who'd you have? You had Armstrong at running back?
Bijan is who it was.
Oh, you had Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, I got lucky there. Bijan was a good pick last
with the
year.
Atlanta Falcons out of Texas.
Yes. Was he that good at Texas?
Yeah.
He was. Okay, I missed that.
Yeah, he was good that was kind of the beginning of Sark's run.
Well, I guess he would have been there. That'd been COVID-ish, right?
Was it that long ago?
Was it not? Well, no, Bijan's young. He's only 23.
I was about to say.
He's only had 1 year.
So I don't know if Tom Herman signed him or Sark signed him, but I think it may have been Sark.
My man got 304 attempts last year, ended up with almost 1,500 rushing yards.
That's a lot of attempts
That's
early
a
in your
lot.
career.
That's way too many.
Is he the next Saquon Barkley light? We'll see. Wilkes, did you play fantasy football last year?
I did.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well,
and
did
you make the playoffs?
That's what
I won it.
You won it?
I won it. $300.
Nice.
Well,
I don't think you told me.
Yeah, I won it.
Who was the best player on your team?
Probably
Yeah, it's easy.
Chase.
Yeah, it's got to be Jamar.
Oh, you had Jamar Chase?
Yeah.
And you did too?
Yeah, Jamar and in that same league, actually.
How
Yeah,
big of a
smash.
beast is he?
I was drilling.
How
myself.
big of a beast is Jamar Chase in fantasy
you can
football
count
with
on-
Joe Burrow?
You can count. See, I always run the system. I'll always go duos.
Okay.
So if I usually try to at least. This year it didn't work out. I didn't get Burrow, but usually I'll run Burrow and Chase.
I got
That's
you.
always what I've
But
run.
then the bye week's awful.
You figure it out. You take that L. Take that L
you'll
for
just
the-
take the L knowing that you're still going to make the playoffs.
Well, I mean, if you have Jamar, you're guaranteed 18 points a week.
Wow.
Which is huge in fantasy.
That guy's just a
17, 18.
freak.
And then you're probably all, you know.
Is he the best
Yeah.
at wide receiver?
Yeah.
As far as fantasy football?
It's him, then Jefferson.
Two guys that played on the
Same
same
team.
team at LSU.
It's him, Jefferson, CD, Nakua.
Yes.
Nakua's been nasty.
I had him.
Glad you brought him
He was
up.
really
Did
good.
you have
last
him,
year.
Will?
I had him
Did.
as well. He
Did
got
have him.
hurt. He missed a couple of games and still had an incredibly productive season.
Okay.
But the year before that, we had a Triple Crown winner in fantasy, which is very rare. Triple Crown means yards, tutties, and receptions.
Who?
Cooper Kupp.
He had that
Kupp had
filthy season.
filthy. I don't know if it's ever going to happen again season.
I can't even name a player on my fantasy team.
We never looked at it last year.
You never
I never figured out how to
opted
get
in.
I didn't know how to log in.
Scott's made it impossible
It's
to
pretty
figure out
difficult.
how to play fantasy football.
It is rather difficult.
I like it better when you had to call in the team on Sunday morning.
I got a little bit of that for baseball, never for football.
You play fantasy baseball.
Oh, we had to call it in trades.
All right, Wilkes, do you remember any of your other? All right, so you won your fantasy football league. How many guys were in it?
I don't know, 8, 10?
10?
8 or 10.
Okay. All right. He won his fantasy league. I don't even think he told me.
Yeah.
He probably thought I wouldn't give him as much money that month, and so he didn't say anything.
That's a good point.
And he still got.
Yeah, well, that's a compliment to him.
That is a
That's
compliment. to him.
strategic.
Who do you remember? All right, so you had Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Who else did you have? Do you remember your
I think I had
quarterback,
Jo-
running back?
I think I had Josh Allen.
Josh Allen
That'll
was a
work.
good one.
That'll help.
Jackson drafted Josh Allen.
And then I think I traded Christian McCaffrey.
Did McCaffrey get hurt last year too?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I traded him. And then maybe, I think I had McConkey.
Oh,
He was a dog. He was a dog. last
How
year.
about that out of Georgia?
And Bowers went off last year too.
Yeah,
And
Bowers-
Bowers had
Brock
a wonderful
Bowers.
year.
How good is he going to be?
Brock's incredible. He's so good.
I want to go out
And McConkey.
to the I've driven by the new Raiders Stadium in Las Vegas. I want to go to a game out there.
Yeah.
Bowers is going to be good. Pete Carroll's going to make him even better.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
He will.
With him. Oh man.
So you had McConkey. Okay. And was that the first time you ever won it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a good feeling.
Jackson, I've won it once,
Yeah.
but it was a long.
We won it once.
You've got to run my team this year.
We won it one year.
Did we?
Yep.
Okay.
We won it.
Well, then
Came
maybe
in
I've won it
second and
twice
third.
in 28 years.
I believe 3 times. We were like first, second, and maybe second, or first, second, and third. And then it went all haywire.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I didn't know how to log in.
You weren't. Yeah. So you didn't know how to get into. We're in a sleeper league.
Yeah.
I
That's what
don't
it's
like
called.
it.
It's the sleeper app or something like
It's
that.
a sleeper app.
Yeah, I don't
and
know
I
anything about
can't figure it out. And we didn't have a draft that party. That's the only reason why I play
Yeah.
is to smoke cigars
Well,
and
a
have
live
fun.
drafts rule.
Right.
You can pull it off. Now, I've seen it done terribly.
I know a lot of people do it mobile
So,
now,
Yeah, but
and that's cool and that's fun. But when guys get together and have the draft, and you're still doing it on your phone or laptop, it's more fun.
yeah. All right, man. If you can have didn't we host a draft party one year?
We hosted a
Yeah, I
draft
remember
party
that.
up here.
Forget about that.
It was everybody wore their jerseys.
Yeah.
It
It was
was
actually, they had a
wild.
big board and everything. It was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it was Jamie Carpenter.
Really?
She loves the Steelers, and she has a group, her and her husband Bert, and they all came up here.
Yeah, we were packed out.
Yeah, we were.
Oh, yeah. We came up here on a random night.
On
I
a
think.
Saturday or a
something.
Sunday
Yeah.
during the draft.
Yeah, maybe it's Sunday before the season started. Or something
Yeah.
Like that.
All right, Wilkes, do you want to tell everybody who your favorite NFL team is?
The Buccaneers.
Okay. And you were a Buccaneers fan even before Tom Brady got there, so you were allowed to celebrate
Liar.
I am.
the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Super Bowl.
I am.
Okay.
Yes,
What?
meh.
They've got a Hall of Fame receiver.
Who? I know.
I haven't. What are you talking about?
What is he,
Dude,
11
dude.
straight 1,000-yard seasons?
Marshawn Lattimore eat him up.
Stop it.
It's bare. Mike Evans is so he's
All right.
he's underrated.
Mike Evans
Is
is
he-
underrated.
like
Well,
criminally.
because Tampa Bay is still not known, like New
That's true,
Orleans,
yeah.
as one of the blue blood NFL towns. When you're good in a blue blood NFL town, you're elevated even more.
Yeah, they've won one.
He missed like 3 games and still got 1,000.
I know
yards.
it's nuts.
I know.
And remember,
I mean-
the final. It took his final reception to clip
Which
it.
is incredible.
I love that.
The guy is underrated, Jackson.
He's criminally underrated.
He is.
That guy should be top tier of everything because he is. He's 6'6".
When you do that for 11 seasons in a row,
and this will be number 12.
1,000 with all the different hiccups they've had at quarterback,
You don't mess with him
come on.
because you just lob it up. He's only 31.
So he's still got 2 more
He's got
years
at least
left.
2.
He's got. This is last year on his contract right now. I think.
Okay.
Watch, he'll get a somebody.
A
will be dumb
nice
enough-
little 2-year.
Somebody will be
He's
dumb
on
enough
his
to give
2-year
him a
right
lot.
now, though.
Okay.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
He's 6'5".
Oh, he's a dude.
I mean, a possession receiver. I mean, he's not that right now, but in his later years, he will. be.
Hey, he and Johnny Manziel, unbelievable, and he's been great for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Are you sold on Baker Mayfield?
I am. And Bucky Irving.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
like Bucky.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
How in the world he had that kind of longevity?
Well, it's we should talk about it more.
He is tied with Hall
If he
of
played up
Famer
in the
Jerry
Northeast?
Rice
Okay.
for 11 straight 1,000s.
Okay.
That's yeah.
So, Wilkes, who runs your fantasy league?
Who runs it?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like, who's your commissioner?
Who's the commish?
Sam Pennebaker?
Okay.
Is he a good commish?
Yes.
Does he put out weekly recaps?
Yes.
There we go.
Oh, that's
That's
awesome.
big time.
Hey, are you your commissioner, Jackson, or are you really?
Commission on one of them, one of the leagues.
Okay.
Yeah, because I got somebody's got to do it right.
All right. Cool.
Got to have recaps, man. Makes it more fun. Get everybody involved.
Got to talk a little fantasy football. Jamar Chase is the dude.
Ah, man.
And who's the best QB, Lamar or Josh? As far as points,
It's
both
not
on the ground
Mahomes.
and through the air.
Is it Lamar? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, Lamar.
Okay. And Jaden Daniels
Jaden might be up there this
was
year. though.
I'm sure put up record numbers or big
He
numbers
did.
last year.
He did.
Okay. So people are talking about a sophomore slump for him.
Yeah, right. QB1, Josh Allen. QB2, Lamar.
Got it. All right.
QB3 is Jaden Daniels.
You've got to run my fantasy team this year. This is ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Back in a second. Oh, good morning. Good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds Show. ESPN 1059 The Zone, brought to you by Pearl River Resort. Also presented by our friends at the Armory, Lake Harbor in Ridgeland. For all your firearms, optics, and suppressors, the Armory in front of Kroger, Lake Harbor. Right down from McBee's. Easy enough. Where you like to go get an amazing cheeseburger or blue plate. All right, right down from Fertizzi's, Bulldog Burger. The Armory, Lake Harbor in Ridgeland, right in front of Kroger. Firearms, optics, suppressor, beautiful shop and building. They've done a fabulous job with their business. The Armory in front of Kroger, Lake Harbor in Ridgeland. We're 1059 The Zone ESPN. Bo Bounds, Jackson Meadows with you. Having fun. The fantasy football and sports betting text are awesome because we all love to hear what you like to do. I mean, that's what, whether we're talking grilling or fantasy football or tailgating or how you watch the games, how I watch the games. I mean, it's fun. And it's right around the corner. And we are going to have we have more football than we've ever had. We have more TV time slots than we've ever had. And we can watch it wherever we are. But fantasy football, look, sports betting is a big part of the show. And we're going to do it again this year. And we'll have several guests that will be driven by win totals and lines and over-unders and all that. But fantasy football is still fun. And there's still money to be won.
Yeah.
I forgot, either I didn't remember or I forgot that Wilkes, my son, just made his
Debut.
Out of Bounds debut.
That's what it was.
Yeah. Now, they came on when they were little, but they don't remember.
Yeah, this was history in the making.
Yeah, so they were like 4 and 5 years old. They just put on the headsets and said something funny like chocolate ice cream or something. But for him to come on, he won his fantasy league. You had a big year in fantasy.
Yeah.
We forgot to talk about Derrick Henry, who is an absolute monster in fantasy football, who Dak Prescott and Derrick Henry have a relationship, had talked. Henry lives in Dallas-Fort Worth area, trains there, wanted to go to the Cowboys last year. They brought in Ezekiel Elliott, who runs a 4.940. Derrick Henry went to the Baltimore Ravens and made Lamar Jackson better. He made that defense better because every time you get a first down on the ground, you get to sit longer on the sidelines, right? And you compound that over every first down and every time you move the chains. And every time Derrick Henry gets going, and what is he doing? He's wearing down the defense. And they have to account for him, and so then they're accounting for him, and what happens? Lamar pulls the ball, and then he goes around the other corner.
Or play action.
So Derrick Henry was a beast. I don't know how much he's got left in the tank, but I'm not going to call it's like questioning, Jake Mangum. There's just certain people that you're like, I'm not going to tell that guy he can't do what, right?
No.
I mean,
Derrick Henry
was a beast the last 2 years.
He had 2,000 yards 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
I mean, he almost had 2,000 last year.
Oh, my God.
He had 2,000 total.
He's bigger than half the defensive ends in the league, and that says something.
What do you think he's?
Because those guys, I mean, are those the best? I mean, the edge rusher now in the game of football is filthy.
Specimen.
We talk about power forwards in the NBA, and that's amazing. They're the specimen of athlete. Ridiculous. Well, hell, in the NBA now, it's like the one, the 2, the 3, and the 4.
Because they all play 5.
Right.
There's no true 5s.
Right. But edge rushers are freaky. I mean, would you want to get hit by Myles Garrett? Myles Garrett getting a 10-yard head start. Let's say you're running away from him.
Oh, my God.
You decide to go the other way, and he's got a full head of steam. And so when you turn to go the other direction and you meet Myles Garrett.
Yeah, you're talking about a 6'4", 275, 4'6", 40 Myles Garrett.
And he looks like he weighs 235.
Yeah, I mean, that's I promise you that's not fat. When that dude hits you, you're going to feel every ounce of muscle in him.
I mean, do you want Bosa coming off the edge and you pivot and plant and go straight into him because you've got another big dude, but you can see, but then you turn and you meet Bosa?
Just not expecting it. Blindside point. Yeah, that's a concussion in waiting. I don't know how they to absorb those hits.
I don't either, man. Wilkes and I got to go on the sideline last year before the Saints Commanders game, which he referenced. Yeah. And Jackson is still unbelievable to me what they look like when you're 5 yards away from them.
Yeah, I mean, huge.
And in college, they look better than they've ever looked, but there's still a little fluff sometimes with linemen.
Yeah.
In the NFL.
There's a difference, man.
But what I've always been amazed by is the linebackers in the NFL / edge rushers.
Yeah.
They're like when Demario Davis with the Saints walked in here in studio, I really struggle. I mean, I was like, this guy's an NFL player. He looks like a wide receiver. There's not an ounce of fat on him. There's not an ounce of fat on him.
No. And he did have ounces of fat coming out of Brandon and then going out of college. But when he got to the pros,
they're just cut like a V.
Yeah, it's chiseled. Like you can't.
Myles Garrett, not an ounce of fat on him. Bosa.
No.
Demario Davis.
I don't remember the last good fat guy.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah, they know them boys.
I know these guys aren't all edge rushers. I'm just talking about the freaks that we're about to watch for 6 months. I mean, high school kids have never been better trained.
Right.
Because they work out all the time. College, you've got a strength and conditioning coach and 6 assistants.
Right.
So, I mean, you're getting everything you need. And then pro is, a whole different deal.
I guess Peyton Manning's going to be the last of the dad bods that was worth a...
Dad bod.
Oh, he did. He had a dad bod.
He did have a dad bod. I mean, I know he worked out and was strong, and he had what Trent Dilfer talks about in the book QB, where he went back and studied every quarterback from the 1983 draft on, I think. And that was majority of it. Now, there are 1 or 2 exceptions. And Drew Brees is an anomaly, and he's an outlier, and he is a freak, and he's not from this planet. But what Dilfer said is you got to have a big trunk, big hips, legs. Peyton, Elways, those guys, big boys, because you got to be able to take the shots.
That's right.
Every now and then you can get a guy who, or maybe Drew is the only one.
Yeah.
I think Drew may be the only Hall of Famer in that time. Maybe I'm missing. I know Lamar's gotten bigger over the years, but he's so much bigger as far as height than Drew. And see, Russell, if he makes it, Russell's still built like Peyton and Brady and Elway. He is thick from the hips down, which is what Dilfer studied and felt like you needed to be. Brett Favre was built. So Phillip Rivers, so many of these guys. But Drew at 5'11" and change, 205 pounds, 200.
Yeah, right.
Pounds? So, okay. Is he I know, I'm sure I'm missing one. And Montana wasn't that big, different era. But I'd have to go back and look at what Joe was during his playing days. But most of the time, you need to be big, thick. You need to have a trunk, legs, and so on.
But Brady isn't physically imposing.
But he's a big boy, man.
He is, but
he
is
huge. I mean, he and Peyton and Joe Burrow and those guys they're bigger. The one thing that I've always thought, like Aaron Rodgers, even though he's only 6'2", he is bigger than you think.
Yeah.
He's got a butt and legs on him.
Yeah.
Very few skinny guys make it for a long. Now, Lamar, again, has gained weight over the years. He's been injured a little bit, but he's been able to make it and make it work. But Drew is the one to, even though he's built, he ain't built like the guys we're talking about. Isn't that fair?
Yeah. I mean,
And he is a lock for the Hall of Fame next year. You can go ahead and get out of the way. Drew Brees is going in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, Mahomes.
And one of the most underrated players in the history of the NFL.
Yeah, that's fact.
At his level. And they'll both be going in at the same time. Larry Fitzgerald is underrated because he played in Arizona and we never watched him for the most part in major primetime TV spots, Jackson.
Correct.
And today's NFL, you get everybody. Now, the Cowboys are on bigger ones and the Chiefs and the Eagles and the bigger blue blood mark. You're going to find the Ravens and this, okay? But there's so many more primetime slots now. Almost everyone is a primetime slot because we love to consume it. But back then, Larry Fitzgerald wasn't getting on primetime TV.
Nope.
You couldn't find him.
And he will be a unanimous decision here.
No doubt.
Oh, he better be.
Larry Fitzgerald, wide receiver from the Arizona Cardinals.
Right. Pittsburgh.
But out of Pitt.
Yeah, out of Pitt.
His dad did his parents did an amazing job raising him.
He's an intellectual.
Yes.
He's very, very bright.
He's a great,
good person.
Unbelievable for the community.
He's something, I mean.
Larry Fitzgerald's everything you want.
I got to imagine if you raise a child, that's what you want.
Yes, it is.
I don't know how there's any. I don't know if that guy's ever gotten in trouble.
Yeah.
Not in the pros, he didn't. Not that we would have heard about it. But.
No. So Drew Brees and Larry Fitzgerald and Bill Belichick are locks.
Yes.
We'll see about Luke Kuechly from last year who didn't make it. Eli Manning from last year who will be carried over who didn't make it. Mike Detillier mentioned Jahari Evans who had a but again, he's with the Saints. If he has that same career with the Giants, with the Eagles, with the Steelers, with the Ravens, with I even think the Chiefs, then we're talking about something totally different. There is something to the Blue Bloods. And the first ones that had franchises in the Northeast and the Midwest. I even kind of throw in the 49ers, Jackson. That's about the only West Coast team. People have never cared about the Chargers. They don't care about the Seahawks. They did care about the Raiders because of Al Davis's shtick and their bad boy mentality and Madden going through there and all those dudes. Lyle Alzado and Howie Long and Snake Stabler before Plunkett and stuff like that. There's a little bit of West magic, but it really stops for me at Kansas City. And then I'd go the 49ers. But everything else is recognized in the blue blood Northeast and Midwest, Jackson.
Yeah.
And Dallas, because they won in the 70s and 90s.
Did you know that Fitzgerald's dad actually, he was a sports writer?
Yes, for the Vikings.
And he
covered the Vikings.
But he ended up covering the Super Bowl that Fitzgerald played in,
okay,
too, which is cool.
Was he with like the Minnesota Tribune or I want to say they were a Minneapolis family, and he ended up at Pitt, which is wild, but I don't remember who.
He was Minnesota spokesman recorder.
Okay, so he was tied with the Vikings for years.
First,
and he was there when Chris Carter.
Oh yeah,
and Randy Moss and Culpepper and all but I don't know how far back he went, but I know he caught that in the late 90s. Larry Fitzgerald's dad.
Yeah, I think he broke the news that Randy Moss was fighting cancer too as of late last year.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah, big Minnesota guy.
Okay.
I loved Minnesota.
We're talking about Larry Fitzgerald, the wide receiver from Arizona. His father was a longtime NFL reporter.
First person that got to cover his son in the Super Bowl.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
They almost won that thing.
They sure did.
And the Steelers marched down at the very end, and Roethlisberger threw that pass in the right corner of the end zone.
Antonio Holmes.
Was it Kurt Warner and Fitzgerald that had marched down before that, or was it Carson Palmer and Fitzgerald? I don't remember.
It wasn't Carson. Yeah.
Okay.
Kurt somehow spun the magic one more time.
Well, he won one with the Rams.
He was not supposed to be there with
Then
the
did he lose one with the Rams?
Yeah.
I think maybe.
He got walked off by
the Patriots.
Gostkowski.
No,
The
it was
Madison boy.
Vinatieri.
Oh, it was Vinatieri that
It was
drilled it.
early.
Yeah, that's right.
It was the first one
It
where
was a great show on
I think it was
Turk
the first one where Belichick and Ernie Adams, his little nerdy guy.
Oh, yeah.
That was when I read the book. They talk all about Ernie Adams, and nobody knew what Ernie did, and he looked like an MIT biochemistry professor, and he was Belichick's nerd. And on the flight down, they had already prepared for a week, but on the flight down from New England to, I think the game was actually in Phoenix, Arizona, Tempe. But on the flight down, they put together the game plan to defeat the greatest show on turf.
Yeah, that's right. They beat the greatest show on turf
Yeah.
with ease. Nah, it wasn't with ease.
So
That was Vinatieri. That wasn't Gostkowski.
I know. That's why I said it was Vinatieri.
You know, I mean,
Don't mess with me on that timeline.
when did Gostkowski? I mean, he
was later.
but he had a game winner though, right? He clipped one.
I'm sure he did. He was great for the Patriots.
So good.
From Madison Central. Ole Miss and Mississippi State missed out on him,
How in the world?
and he goes to Memphis.
Was he a soccer player?
He
Like-
may have been.
I'm sure. I mean, I feel quite confident he was. But like, why? I mean, why in the world? How did they miss? How does he go?
I don't know. I mean, a kicker.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I get it.
You only take one, and a lot of times you don't even take a scholarship.
Right.
Programs have gone back and forth on that. I think you should always allocate a scholarly.
Yeah.
I mean, last time I checked, kicking field goals is really important, whether it's the first quarter or the fourth quarter.
I remember.
Of course, now coaches get so cute that they want to go for it on fourth down so much that they take points off the board, which makes no sense. If you can get three,
So cute.
depending on down and distance. We know that Kiffin, as brilliant as he is, has gotten cute. There have been others that have taken it to a whole nother level. Especially, man, I always think early in the game. And when you're on the road, that's one thing. Take the points, get some points on the board. And then if you want to go for some crazy first downs as the game, unfolds, maybe that works. But if you're down there, you got a chip shot field goal. But it's gone like that in high school football.
Yeah,
Coaches have lost their damn mind
It's so dumb.
going for it on fourth down. Now, I understand that high school field goal kicking is
It's a
some
lot
teams
harder.
are good, but it's iffy. But I mean, I'm talking about if you're inside the 10. And I don't mean on the 1. If you want to go ahead and punch it in, do it. But if you're on the 6-yard line, you may want to take points early. But it's gone. I mean, I watch a lot of high school football on the TV because they're all streamed now. And coaches have gone crazy now that Kiffin and all them are doing their thing, lost their minds going for fourth down. I wonder if that will come back a little bit. We're in the process of like peak going for it on fourth down.
I think we're on the other side, right?
I
we're on
would
the
think maybe
backside?
in the next few years we'll it'll come back a little bit to the mean, right?
Yeah, surely. They'll find the happy medium.
Okay.
Back in 2002 is when that kick happened with Vinatieri. The Rams that day for that Super Bowl, 14-point favorites.
The Rams were two touchdowns and 2 points.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is do
That's
you
a
realize
line.
how big a line that is in the NFL?
For a Super Bowl?
90% of the lines in the league are 5 points and less.
Right.
And they love that 3 and a hook, 2 and a hook,
Hate that. By the hook.
Right,
Just by the hook.
right. Ron on our Twitter feed at Bo Bounds, Gostkowski, did I say that right?
Yeah. Gostkowski,
He said he was a baseball pitcher.
Oh, wow.
He went to Memphis to pitch.
No way.
Memphis at the time had a pretty good baseball program. I did not know that. If somebody wants to confirm, I'm assuming Ron knows, but
That was 02 to 04, 02 to 06, probably. Yeah.
okay.
He was there 4 years. I know he got to the league in 06, so.
And then they let Vinatieri go to the Colts.
That's right.
Which was a big deal because Manning and Brady were still in the heat of the battle, in the heart of their rivalry.
That's right.
And Peyton had not knocked down one yet.
Thanks to Vinatieri.
And then eventually Peyton with a pretty damn good defense with the Colts. And Tony Dungy, who moved over from the Buccaneers, they would make their first run and go through one of the weakest teams in the Chicago Bears out of the NFC.
But remember
the
first-
Saints. Sean Payton took his first team up to Chicago in the NFC Championship game, in a game that where it was about 3 degrees and the Saints lost
Yes.
to the Bears and Urlacher and Rex Grossman.
Rex freaking Grossman. It was
Yeah.
Devin Hester that actually did that.
You know, if the Saints get by there, I wonder if they beat the Colts. I know they beat them several years later,
But yeah.
but I wonder if they beat the Colts.
That might have been Peyton's day, or the secondary was still trash at that point. Their secondary was trash.
Okay.
The biggest spreads in Super Bowl history. They have gotten to 18.5. Oh, okay, Niners. Back when the Niners were hitting in the mid-90s. 18.5.
Over the San Diego Chargers?
Chargers.
And they blew them out.
They blew them out. 49-26.
Sylvester Croom was on that San Diego Chargers staff as a running backs coach. It's not Croom's fault that they lost, but that's not where I'm going. I just remember that Croom was on that staff with the coach would eventually go to, he had been at Georgia Tech or would go to Georgia Tech. I can't remember his name, who was the coach then. But I think that was George Seifert had taken over for the 49ers, and Steve Young and Jerry Rice hammered the Chargers that day. Jackson.
Since 2000, obviously you had the Rams with a 14-point favorite.
Right.
One. Since other than that, there's only one double digit. And that's the Patriots over the Giants. 12.5, and they lost, obviously when they lost to Eli in 07.
Wow.
They were 12.5. I didn't know that. That's
12 and a half point favorite
rarely
over Strahan and Eli and Coughlin.
They covered.
Coughlin had they knew each other and so on. And Coughlin and Spagnola had Belichick's number.
I loved Coughlin.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I like
Hall of Fame coach.
Oh, man.
Hall of Fame coach.
Hall of Fame, what he did with the Jaguars.
What he did with the Jaguars as a brand new expansion team does not happen.
Ever.
No. We are the Out of Bounds Show. We're brought to you by Juniker Jewelry Store. Locally owned. They do an amazing job. If you're in the market for some earrings or a bracelet or a ring or an engagement ring, you want to go to Juniker Jewelry Store. Also, the show is brought to you by Grit Fitness and Training Facility on Lakeland Drive. Jay Powell, World Series champion, All-American pitcher at Mississippi State. Jay Powell is the new Director of Baseball Operations for Grit Fitness and Training Facility right behind Ergon or Mirror Lake in Flowood. Grit. New batting cages, indoor turf, outdoor turf, pitching mounds, and monthly memberships. All at Grit Fitness and Training Facility. Jay Powell, the new Director of Baseball Operations. Go ahead and book your team there right now to get some work in. Grit Training Facility on Lakeland Drive with brand new batting machines and indoor and outdoor turf. Also, lunch today brought to you by the Blue Plate at Burgers, Blues, and Barbecue in Dogwood, Flowood. That mac and cheese is delicious. Smash burger. We'll see you tomorrow.